Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm Tim and this is Run Tall. If you're new here, welcome to the Run Tall family. I'm really glad that you are here and you found us on YouTube. Now I post running videos every single day. Running shoe reviews, comparisons, and shoe battles. But I like to post a lot of other videos that are related to running as well. Like training, recovery, and gear reviews. So if you're into that kind of thing, or maybe you're just looking for a daily dose of running, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. Now in today's video, I'm going to be taking a real close look at the brand new Hoka Gaviota 5. Now the Gaviota is a max cushion, max stability shoe. It costs $175 US. I ordered mine true to size. And for me, that was US men's size 9, and they fit me perfectly in terms of the width as well as the length. They're a relatively lightweight shoe for a max cushion shoe. On my scales, for a US men's size 9, it came in at 10.3 ounces or 293 grams. All right, so let's start with the upper. It has a creel jacquard mesh upper, super comfortable on foot. I would say that this is not just a max cushion, max stability, but I would say it's max comfort. And you're going to see that throughout this shoe. The upper, like I said, is super comfortable. It is a little bit rough to the touch, but very, very comfortable on foot. I felt like I got locked into secure across the midfoot section of the shoe pretty easily. Lots of space up here to be able to splay your toes. And there's enough depth that as a stability shoe, I know that many people, and myself included, will sometimes pull the liner out, the sock liner, and replace it with an orthotic if you overpronate like I do. Sometimes you find that helpful. I don't know that you'll need to do that with this shoe, but you could if you wanted to, because I think there's enough space for that. But I would say give this shoe a shot first, because it does a really, really good job bringing you into a healthy level of pronation. So let's take a look at the let's look at the eyelet chain. Now the eyelet chain, there's really not any big wow factor here. I pulled the laces out so we could get a closer look at it. They do have some reinforcement, so you don't have to worry about, you know, laces pulling through. You're going to be just fine there. There's no wow factor. It's a very simple standard eyelet chain, but it does a really, really good job. You know, I don't think you really need to get cute here. I think that they just kept it simple and it works. They do have that extra eyelet up here in case you want to use that to run with a runner's nut to be able to secure your heel back into the heel cup. We'll talk more about that here in just a second. The tongue itself is very thick and plush, as you can see. So lots of padding pretty much everywhere. It comes up a little bit high on my foot. But not it wasn't uncomfortable at all. And I never felt the laces cutting across the top of my foot. It does have this pass-through loop that you can see here on the tongue. I don't know that you need that. It's nice that it's there, I guess, but the tongue is semi-gusseted. And I say semi-gusseted because it has a gusset just on one side of the shoe. Now, Hoka started doing this a while ago. As you can see, there's just material on what would be the medial side of the shoe and not on the other side. So again, the tongue is going to be held in place just fine. You're not going to have to worry about this kind of migrating around at all. In terms of the padding, lots and lots of padding around that heel collar as well as the tab of the shoe. I would call it that traditional style of padding. Lots of it up around the collar, and then it slowly, gently tapers down into the footbed, and that creates a nice heel pocket for your heel to set in, and it was perfect. I felt like my heel was locked in at all times. I didn't feel any slippage either side or up or down. Very comfortable, and lots of padding back here for my Achilles to rest in. This shoe has that max comfort going on for sure. And then in the back, they do have this pull tab here. Now they have a pull tab on the Gaviota 4 and other previous versions as well, but they did change the look of that a little bit here. But in case you want to use that to help get your shoes on, it's there. All right, so let's take a look at the midsole, because that's really where all the magic happens. Not just in stability shoes, but in all running shoes, in my opinion. They have a big stack height of foam here. They have 36 millimeters in the heel and 30 up into forefoot for a 6 millimeter offset from the heel to the toe. It is finally what I would call a max cushion, max stability shoe. And I say that because oftentimes when I talked about the Gaviota being a max cushion shoe, I always preface that with comparison to other stability shoes and not necessarily to other neutral road shoes, because with a stability shoe, they can't be as soft usually because they have to have more dense foam in order to be able to correct your pronation, whether you're rolling inward like I do or if you supinate. And they've made a few changes though. So we have lots of foam here, more foam than what they've had in the past. Again, 36 in the heel and 30 up in the forefoot. And also they've changed the way that they went about creating the stability within the shoe itself. So this is the Gaviota 4. This is last year's version of the shoe. Still a favorite of mine. I do enjoy this shoe. In terms of the Gaviota series, 2 and 4 so far have been my favorites. And that's because they both felt the most comfort. They were both the most comfortable shoes that did the job that they were intended to do. They were soft and they felt good to run in, walk in, and what have you. And the first 4 versions of the Gaviota, the way that they accomplished being a stability shoe is they created this J frame. So you can see this J shape here. Well, that's more dense foam in the shape of a J. And that's what helped keep you into a healthy level of pronation. Well, they've changed that. They've done away with this J frame and they went to what they call now an H frame. So now they have stability on both sides of the shoe, and it's more in a pod style, I guess is the way I would describe it. So let's take a look at the Gaviota 4 again. So I'm going to turn it on its side so you can see that basically they have kind of just a traditional outsole kind of a thing going on there. But if we look close at the Gaviota 5 and I turn it on its side, now you can see how they have these pods. And I'm going to call them stability pods. I'm not sure what else to call them, to be honest. But that's the magic of this shoe, is because they have stability running on both sides of the shoe, the foam itself is softer, and it is noticeably softer than the Gaviota 4. So if you purchased the Gaviota, any of the Gaviota shoes in the past, and you thought to yourself when you tried to walk or run in them that they felt like a brick, you're not going to have that issue with these, because these are noticeably softer. I put the Gaviota 4 on one foot and put the Gaviota 5 on another foot, and it was like night and day. These are so much softer. These are now a true max cushion shoe, so super soft to walk around in. I have put a few running miles in these, but not enough for me to bring you a true running shoe review. So I think it is important for me to let you know that I've been wearing these as a lifestyle shoe. I've had them on my feet every single day, every day since I bought them. And it's been 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks, 3 weeks. It's been a fair amount of time. I've taken them out on some intentional walks where I go out and walk for, a little over an hour, put about 3.5 miles in them at a time. And I think I've had them out on 3 or 4 different walks. So I've walked a number of miles in these shoes. And I can tell you that they are really, really comfortable. Hoka finally has the Gaviota to where I would consider it to be a soft, cushioned ride. And I'm really enjoying it. You feel it all the way from the heel up through to the forefoot of the shoe. It does have an early stage meta rocker in these shoes, which makes you roll through your gait, whether you're walking or running. They're just a real pleasure to have on my feet. So I'm really enjoying the upgrades. I would call these upgrades definitely to the Gaviota 5 from the Gaviota 4. The other noticeable difference in these is the landing platform. So I'll give you a look at the Gaviota 5 here. And now I'm going to show you the Gaviota 4. And really what I want you to notice is the difference in the width. So with the Gaviota, between the Gaviota 4 and the Gaviota 5, I'm going to try to match up the right shoe to the right shoe here. Okay. And I'm going to line these up. And I'm going to line them up the best I can on this side so they're flat with one another. And hold that. And now hold this up to you. So you can see just how much wider these are up in the forefoot of the shoe. And it's amazing the difference of a feel that makes. They were both already highly stable shoes, but these are even more so, if that's possible. And they're just even more cushioned. They feel so much better on foot as a stability shoe. Now, I did put a lot of miles in the Gaviota 2. In that shoe, version of the shoe, I had put over 1,000 miles in those shoes. And, so they're very durable. All of the Gaviota shoes have been very, very durable. So I don't see any issue at all with you getting, 500 plus miles in these. And if you use these primarily to walk in, I would say you're going to get a lot more miles in these, or likely to get a lot more miles in them if you're walking in them. If you're running in them, I think comfortably you could get 500 miles in these, because I think these are definitely going to go the distance for sure. Absolutely love the changes that they made. I think Hoka did a really good job, and I will bring you a proper running shoe review in these as well. But as a lifestyle shoe for someone who overpronates, I couldn't ask for anything more. Super comfortable on foot. Very soft to walk in. I did feel like I was getting a little bit of energy return just from walking. And I did put a few running miles in these, about 3.5 miles, 4 miles, somewhere in that ballpark, but not enough to bring you a proper running shoe review. But I do intend to bring you that very, very soon. Fingers crossed, because right now I'm doing a lot of cross training because I'm working through a running injury. But it won't be long. I'll be back on my feet, and I intend to put a lot of miles in these. I'm excited to bring you not just the first proper running review in these, but to bring you a 100-mile, maybe even a 500-mile review in these, because I think these are going to go the distance. And these are a Gaviota shoe that I don't mind picking up to put on my feet. Again, I've had these on my feet every single day since I purchased them. So, all right. Hey, you guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.